Hi all. Right, I've decided to hang about. Action Kharkov, Soviet Soul, end of the night. Probably a big mistake as a drama whiskey's joining Stella. Um, so, let's see. I'm confident about this. Although I've got a decision to make here. Um, you might wonder what all the dice are for. Well, we've got one card left in our hand, and it's this, and we've been planning it all game, all turn, all the first turn. I've been thinking about what I can do with that, and it turns out that we wanted to try and take Slavansk. I know I'll get these dice out the way in a second. Um, so I just had a look at the numbers before I started press record there. I had to get a D20 for this. If I go all in on this, the 7 strength, 1 armour, 1 infantry unit, I can get 5-1 odds and 15 chip pools maximum. So it's good odds. It's a bit overkill with the chip pools. But it is good odds. Remember, this guy's in a city. Now, I just briefly went and checked cities. In the previous game, I know you're maybe tired of hearing me saying, oh, enemy action Ardennes. That's not what we're playing. But I did say that I'm going to compare it a lot. And yeah, I mean, I played it a lot and it stuck in my head. So, cities, yeah, I remember making a big blunder with it. First time I attacked a city in enemy action Ardennes. Because you half your strength, I want to say. I remember Martin calling me out on that one, as he did on many occasions. That's why I had to try and get my one in about the one that he got wrong. So, yeah, but there's nothing about cities. It's the same as a town. As far as I can see, the only difference, of course, if you draw a combat chart that says city, then that'll apply. It's not a town then, it's a city, you know. I think probably a lot of them are city or town, so, but there might be some there that are detrimental to being city rather than town even. I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, that's all that guy, well, I say that's all that guy's going from. He's 7 strength, he's 4 steps, but 5-1 odds pretty good. 15 chip pools, ooh, I don't know how many I would pick out of them. Remember, I'm having to pick a minimum of 4. So, but the other 2 sets of dice are the other option. And I thought, well, this is a lot of chip pools. Could we not have a go at this guy? And I worked it out that because I've got 38 strength against 7, which gives me the 5-1. So I figure, like, right, what's 41? 41 is 28 strength, which leaves me 10 strength that I can put in on this. So 10 against 2 gives me 5 chip pools. 5-1 odds. And if I take 2 3-step units into this fight, I would get 4 chip pools for the units and 1, because all these are in the artillery barrage as well. So it'd be 5-1, 5 chip pools on that. And then it would reduce the fight on this to 4-1 and 11 chip pools. So I don't know if I'm trying to be greedy by trying to take this guy. I mean, 5-1. I've already said in the last combat there that large attack chip pools. I've seen it on a couple of them. It might have been the same chip. Maybe it is. But on one side you got large attack, which is an A1 D1, which okay, is good and it's bad. But on the other side, the priority 5-1. We've seen it in the last attack, so you know that number's better than that number. Clearly. But chip pool wise, I mean, I think I'd be happy with drawing 11 chip pools. It's just the odds dropping that 1. And that's my dilemma. What do I do? Is it worth it just to like try and take this 1-step armoured unit out as well? I don't think it is it? I don't think it is. I think going by some of the chits that I've seen, I think 5-1 odds is quite a nice. I mean, I think most of my combats in this turn have been 5-1, haven't they? And the one time that I went down to 4-1, was that not the... That was a combat that I got... it wasn't that one there. I think it was that one there. That went kind of wrong. And I think we had quite a lot of chip pools there, but we only had 4-1 odds, if I remember rightly. I can't recall what happened in that one. I know we took 3 hits in that one. The one up there, we only took 2 hits, and I decided to take a chance because I realised I probably wasn't activating the 3rd tank again, which has turned out to be true. So that, and unless the last German card does something to them, it doesn't look like it's caused them any grief. So yeah, I kind of feel, I mean, if we take the city, right, let's get some of these dice out of the way, and I can put them back when I've decided what I'm doing. Let's see the actual playing surface, Grant. Okay, so if I took the city, can I surround this guy? Well, we're going to have units in here. We're going to be able to advance into here, so no is the answer, unless I put a unit there. Ooh, there's a cheeky wee thought, because I could take 3 strength out. 3 strength? Why are you saying 3 strength? It doesn't have to be 3. Hang on. I had 38 against 7. Yeah, that's why I'm saying 3, because 35 against 7 is what I need to get 5-1. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking 3, and you're right, Grant. You're right to think 3. Well, there you go. Even that wee 2 strength unit. If I just move him out and into there, right, then everything else comes in here. We've got 5-1 odds with, we lose a chip pool. Okay, fair enough. 14 chip pools. Then we take this out, because that's the plan. Then we advance after combat 1 into there, and then we get another advance into there. We surround that guy, he's out of supply, come the... Yeah, that's better, isn't it? And then I'm still keeping my 5-1 odds. Yeah, that sounds like you've not had a drink, Grant. That sounds good. Yeah. Okay, so well, let's go back to the card just to make sure that we're understanding what the card does. So we are activating 1 Southwest Front Army, and that Southwest Front Army is going to be Mobile Group Popov. And yeah, just to confirm, that it does state in the rules that Mobile Group Popov is an army. Where does it? Give me a sec. Yeah, I figured it might be back at the beginning. And 2.21 units, page 4. I think it might state it elsewhere in the rules, but it's telling you about the actual units. And it says Soviet Southwest Front is the 6th Army, the 1st Guards Army, and Mobile Group Popov. And it says, in brackets, Mobile Group Popov is considered an army. So just to confirm that, because it does say a Southwest Front Army. So that does count. And I think that applies to Corps Rau as well. Army Detachment Kempf, Corps Rau, considered part of the 4th Panzer Army for command purposes. It's independent for deployment purposes. Yeah, we looked at that one already, actually, didn't we? Right, so we're activating Mobile Group Popov as our Southwest Front Army, plus stacked Southwest Front units. So any units that are stacked with Mobile Group Popov from the Southwest Front become active. And that was the whole point of this moving these units earlier on, to grab these 2 Guards Army units, which are part of the Southwest Front. So we can activate them too. And that's where I'm getting the extra strength. I mean, it's not a huge amount, but it brings it in from there. We get this guy surrounded. Well, yeah, I suppose they were doing it by themselves, but well, I don't know. Maybe it was far-fetched, sort of like looking ahead, and I don't know. It feels good to me, so we'll go with that. Right, so I think I'm going to go with that. So I think I'll just leave that. No, you're leaving a 2-strength unit behind then, Grant. We talked about that already. The other thing is I'm moving this out of the town. Well, I'm going to have to do so. I can only leave 3-strength behind somewhere to get my 5-to-1. So yeah, I'm going to, well, not abandon. Well, it's kind of, I suppose we're leaving the town empty, but it's still our control. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 with that guy. And yeah, just leave him there. Just in the hope that we do get rid of this guy and then we put that guy out of supply, basically. So the rest of the move is going to be, these guys are staying here. We can't move round about. Well, we're going to have the guys surrounded in. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think we're just moving all this down into the woods. And these guys are going to have to go out and in. Remember when we've done that. So they're both got 6 movement. It's 2 into broken, but breaking zone of control costs, it means an extra 1 for 3. And then 2 back into there. Okay, and let's just keep it going, Grant. We're not messing about. We're going to attack. And remember, like I say, the first guards units underneath are active as well. And we're going to attack here with everything. Okay, we have no cards to play anyway, so that's all we've got. So just to show you the numbers, I'll give you the numbers first. 8, 10, 14, 19, 21, 26, 30, 35. Exactly what I planned. So that gives us 35 against 7, and just to confirm, he's 7 as 5-to-1. So we've got 5-to-1 odds, and we'll just double check the chip pools now. I mean, with that guy, we should have lost 1. I think we've got 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 1 for the artillery barrage. So 14, maximum of 14 chip pools, minimum of 4, because we've got 4 steps. Okay, let's do it. The Germans, it's about time they got a tactic though, innit? This is my worry. Okay, here we go. See what they get. Army Group South. Oh, I'm getting really lucky. That must be really lucky, yeah. I've drawn. Martin's going to go in berserk. The 4th Panzer Army card, that's Army Group South, and I drew the von Manstein card as well. All its combat tactics, and all not applicable on the turn that we're on. So, yeah, because, I mean, just going back to, well, the Manstein card, yeah, I remember reading that. Let's have a wee glance at that while we're on it. You get an extra impulse after it. Look, activate all German units when 2 hex is the German unit with the most German mechanised units in its 2 hex radius. You're going to get something out of that. Although, I suppose the event was a strategic relocation, so that might have happened. But if you do activate, all attacks this activation receive the air power combat tactic. After completing this activation, conduct another German impulse. So, I mean, we drew that as a combat tactic, and it went in the bin. So, and this is another one. And like I say, that was 4th Panzer Army card, Army Group South. Also activate all German units and city hexes. Yeah. But combat tactic, intelligence and artillery from turn 4 onwards. See you later. Yeah, feeling like I've got pretty lucky with them. Okay. Right, let's just do this. Let's go for it. I'm just not. Well, I know I'm going to get to draw 4 chits to then decide, but I think I'm not going to be clear on how many I'm going to want to draw, because 4 is not. I mean, even D4 from the start, I'm going to have to draw more than that if I happen to get lucky like that. So we've both got armour. He doesn't have a unit adjacent, which is good. And we have artillery, he does not. He's got no combat tactic. Yeah, bring on the artillery and the 5-to-1 odds chits, basically. Remember, we don't have flank. Oh, yeah, also we haven't surrounded, so, and no friendly unit adjacent. So his first retreat is going to automatically take a step away as well, which is also great. Right, I'm going to do the chits one at a time this time. It's going to be a wee bit more awkward, but you'll not see any difference at your end. So I'm going to get the first 4 chits. So here we go. Okay, I just thought I'd show you the first one. Boo. City or attack not supported. Well, there you go. We were just discussing the fact that I said that city or town were probably on the same chit. Well, there's one that's just city and it's a D-1. So that's got our work cut out now even slightly more, okay? Right, I'll get the next 3. Okay, there's our first 4. Yeah, it was better. What did that have on the other side? Oh, it had... no, this one had 6-to-1, didn't it? What did that have? NKVD, which, yeah, is not applying. But 5-to-1's there, so that's good. And then this had 6-to-1, but we're not quite, but I'll take the 4-to-1. Defender adjacent, I was dispersed unsupplied on the back. So, but because of that, D-1 takes away that 1. That takes away 1 from the city. We're still sitting at no hits. So we still need what, 6? We still need another 6 hits. I mean, okay, I'm not expecting to eliminate both of them, but that's what we need to eliminate them. Just now we need another D6. We have 10 more possible chits to draw. What do we do? What do we do? Okay, I'm thinking. The whiskey in me is telling me to go draw 10 more. I think the fact I've seen so many odds chits, like I say, I mean, yeah, you go down to the 1-to-1, 1.5, 1.5-to-1 ones, you're going to take a hit for yourself. I mean, you know, I'm not expecting to get out of this scot-free and, like, not take any hits whatsoever. Bearing in mind, this is my last well, yeah, I was going to say this is my last impulse of the day, so I could disperse, but if I do that, I do not get the advance after combat, so, and that then stops me from surrounding that guy, so I'd rather not be doing that. But if I came out of it just with 2 hits, that wouldn't be too bad. You know, I'm just talking about drawing 10 more chits, because I do need a lot of hits on him. I've got him at 5-to-1. We've got artillery. We've got armour with his armour. He's nobody adjacent. So the bad chits are, well, city chits are bad, as we've seen. And what else is bad? There was something else on my mind there. What other chits are bad? City chits are bad. Yeah, I can't really think in. I mean, the low odds ones are going to hurt me a little bit, but they should hurt him too. Large attacks should hurt him too. I feel like there's something else I'm missing, but I think I'm going to go for this. I think I'm going to go nuts. It's my last impulse. I'm going to draw the other 10. And we'll just accept the consequences. I mean, it's not nice to say, but these first guard units, they could be sacrificial lambs. Maybe, you know. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to draw all 14, so I'm going to draw another 10 chits. I'm going to draw them one at a time, just in case we do draw a blue chit. So all in, let's go. Right, give me a sec. Okay, there's the first one I drew. 2 to 1. It's a plus or a minus, but let's keep going. Well, I've decided on 10 now anyway, or the whole 14. So here we go. Artillery, that'll do. Okay, that's me. Whoops, that's me drawing the slightly off-coloured chit. I'm saying it's blue. I don't know. It's slightly green, a light green, if you like. The couple that I got a flank attack. Doesn't count in the town, city. This was less than 3 to 1. Doesn't count. It was 81 on the front. We got artillery. Yeah, cheered out about that one. That's a really good one for being 2 to 1. It's a D1. So. But now all the chits that were set aside go back in the cup now as well, so all the ones that we had. And then when we're done with this, the chits will all go back in the cup. This is probably going to be the last attack though of the day, the turn anyway, unless the Germans do something, of course. So that's everyone shuffled back up. What have we got? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 5 more to go, so I'm just going to draw them unless something exciting happens on the way. Okay, something exciting happened. Next chip was flank attack. Didn't apply. Look at this. Attacker command 4 or 5. We've got a 4. Southwest front. I kind of forgot about that actually, because obviously this is a big card, so it's going to be a higher command value. That is an A-1 and D2. How about that? Wow. Right, so we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Still got 3 more to go. It wasn't a brilliant finish. We got another 4 to 1. I think this was... I can't mind what was on the other side. These ones were 2 sort of high ones on the other side, but less than 4 to 1 we don't have. We've got 5 to 1, so none of them apply. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 chits drawn. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a -1. So 7 hits to them. And we're not getting any because we got this A-1. So we had an A1, so A-1. So 7 hits to them and none to us. That'll do. Okay, so put all the chits back into the cup because we drew the reset chit. 7. Is 7 enough to do them both? It's bang on. I think I probably said that earlier. Right, we reduce 1 for the city, so down to 6. And then well, actually, no, we needed 1 less because I'm forgetting. They retreat 1, taking it down to 5. That's our first hit, their first retreat. But they have to take a step loss. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure they take it on the highest selector number unit because they're in Soviet zone of control. They then retreat another hex. Wherever they go, it doesn't matter. That satisfies that hit. They've still got 4 hits to take. They've retreated twice. They've only got 3 steps. They're gone. They're gone. How about that? No hits to us. What a finish to the turn. Yeah, that was brilliant. Please believe me, I don't mess about with things. I really am playing this genuine. I know you're not seeing me drawing chits out, but like I've said to you, if we watched all that and, you know, if I drew the wrong chits, I'd just cut that part out and start again, you know, if I wanted to manipulate things. Yeah, that's good. So we can take all the dice away and get some advance after combat going. Okay, so the first hex that we can advance into is obviously that, and we're obviously going to do that. So I'm going to get a Soviet marker. Now, like I say, the first unit that advances into there would have to stop. So it makes more sense advancing some kind of infantry into there, because our mechanized stuff can double move. That's mech, that's infantry. We've got the 2 guards unit. We've got this guy as well, though. So yeah, I don't know. It might make more sense advancing the guards units in, because we probably want to maybe keep that. And we want to move the pop-off units on, probably. Well, hang on, that'd be 4 steps. Yeah, that would mean we couldn't advance that in. He's a 4 strength, mind you. Well, actually, it's quite possible we might want to leave these guys and come after this guy. Sorry, that's maybe just out of view. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, I think I'll advance that in. Right. So once he advances in, we take the city. We also grab ourselves 2 victory points, and he's got to stop, like I say, but he only gets 1 point anyway. 1 movement point advance. So that's us up to 6 victory points. And yeah, sorry, where was he? He was in here, yeah, right. So I was thinking advancing him in as well, and then we've got 5 steps of infantry. Is that clever? Or should I keep the guards units together? Well, it means I can't get the guys moving though. Yeah, no, I think I will do that, and I'll also advance the pop-off infantry in there as well. Oh no, he's infantry too, forgot. Yeah, it's maybe better to leave these guard units out the way then, isn't it? And just advance the 2 3-step pop-off units. I do wonder about this hex being, somewhere we might want to go. Well, you know what? I can still come down in this hex from here with the pop-off units. It'd be 1, 2 movement, so that's not a problem. Just in case we want to try and surround this guy. So it's not really a problem. Right, so, and then right. So all this armoured, mechanised stuff gets a 2 hex advance. Now, that needs to be the first hex, fair enough. And we can overstack temporarily. And then the next hex, because there's no path of retreat because the units were eliminated. We can't go from zone of control to zone of control. There's no issues. I can go into this hex, or I can advance into this hex, or I can, I could advance this one into here if I wanted. There's no issues. So, whoops, sorry, that's that. I'll unplug it this time. Let's try to charge things up again on the fly. Could do this on more professional system, way of doing it. Okay. So, right, I'll just pause and rather than bore you with Right, okay, I'm going to go advance this guy first hex here, and then second hex into here, and then this guy's going to follow. So that keeps the 2 3-step units together. Is that wise though? Should we not sort of like share it about a bit? And then these 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 against that is 6 to 1 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jet pools. Yeah, let's just go with that. So, should we be worried about this? I don't think so, because these guys, these can't remember what they are now. Been 6th Army. They're going to be on the move, back in action, come the next turn, and I'm pretty sure they're going to come across that way. Because remember, they can't go to that side of that line anyway, so they've got to go up this way, and there's nothing out the middle here at the moment. So yeah, let's just go with that. Let's just move this guy. Was this guy first hex into there, second hex into there? So that's a scope flank and surround on that guy, and I'm just going to put the other 2 in here as well. I think so. Because we've got there is another city here, if that's just on camera, isn't it? Our 2 victory point city here. We're pushing in on this guy. And there's, yeah, another 1 victory point across here, but they've got these 2 units up here, and we know they're going to start coming as the turns move on, but okay, that was good. Well, there you go, that plan right from the beginning. Well, it wasn't right from the beginning, but of the turn. But as the turn went on, I thought, yeah, maybe keep that card till the end. And saying that, I mean, that sort of it strengthened with the extra strength. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have played it and probably just had to deal with a 3 strength infantry unit in there. And here's me thinking I'm all tough because I had 7 to deal with, but it probably isn't that tough a nut to crack. But that I got lucky there as well, I think. Right, let's try and get the last German impulse. That's that done. That's all our cards done. So because we've ran out of cards on our impulse, the Germans get 1 more impulse, and then we'll finish a turn. So let's try and do that before the end of the night then. Hopefully it's not going to be too big an impulse for them. Right, let's just draw it and see. Ooh, right, well, we think we know what might happen with that. Right, so that says deploy all 2nd SS Panzer Corps reserves. 2+ if at least 2 units eligible. Yeah, so my guess is it'll still deploy them. If they didn't have 2 at the moment, we're on turn 1, it would deploy them all. But if we were on turn 2 or greater, we need to have 2 units eligible. Yeah, well the thing is we've got 3 units to deploy. And pretty sure they're coming out, so it might be a quick impulse. We know what we're going to be doing, but placing reserves can sometimes take some time. Right, I'll get the units down, we'll have a look. Okay, so pretty sure things are happening in this area. Well, they are 4th Panzer Army units, so this is their deployment between these 2 lines, and yeah, we know it opens up a bit as it goes further up. But remember, we've got to be Soviet proximate to whichever hex it decides. I'll just shove that out the army boundary now so we can have a look. Okay, so again, it's just method A. Yeah. So, and then ascending order, so we've got selector number 4, 5, and then 9. So hex is empty or garrisoned, or is a city hex occupied by only one German step. And just let's just jump down. A Soviet unit needs to be proximate to this hex, okay? Okay. So if the hex is occupied by one German step, a Soviet unit cannot be proximate to that hex. Okay, I'm guessing the rules are going to either make that a bit clearer or... Give me a sec. Okay, well, I'm going to have to assume that... Because let's just say, right, that this was a one-step German unit. He's not, he's 2 steps. But if he was 1 step, so that would be a hex that is empty or garrisoned, or a city hex occupied by only one German step. So that is a city, it's Kharkov. If it was only occupied by one German step, but the step that wants to check for proximity says Soviet unit proximate to the hex. So if there's a unit in the hex, we can't be, an enemy unit in the hex, we can't be proximate to the hex. So I'm just going to take that that's meant to mean that proximate to, yeah, that doesn't really sit very well, to be honest, but okay, well, you know what, there's one, if anybody wants to comment on how you're meant to sort of like, I mean, maybe I'm picking at nits again, I don't know, just trying to read into it a bit too much maybe. But a Soviet unit cannot be proximate to an enemy unit, to the hex an enemy unit's in, so the only thing I can get from that is it's proximate to, you know, a hex is adjacent to the unit, which it would be the case. Okay, well, it's not going to affect here because this is not a one-step German unit. So, but if you've got thoughts on that, let me know. Maybe I'm away on some other planet. Okay, so this was more the case that we're looking at, I think, this one here. Because this is a hex that's garrisoned. And just running through the steps. In reserve units army area, yes. Not in Soviet artillery barrage, yes. In German reserve supply, were reserve placed in the hex, yes. Soviet unit proximate to the hex, yes. I think we decided that already. Again, ooh, right, hang on. Yeah, the description of proximate to garrisoned hex as a Soviet unit is proximate to a hex containing a German garrison marker if it has sufficient movement points to enter a hex adjacent to the garrison hex. Because clearly we can't move into it. But that's similar to actually what I was talking about there though. So my guess is that they're both linked in that way. Yeah, that's my thinking. So anyway, we are proximate to being adjacent to this garrison. So that means it does satisfy that. Unit would not be in danger of sound and place in hex unless it's in a German city. Right, so we do need to check if that's, well, it was surroundable earlier, wasn't it? I remember. So maybe. Yeah, this is still in dangerous surround. There's mechanized units under here. So 6 movement, 1, 2 breaking zone of control, 3 to move into the woods, and 1 to cross there is another 4. So he's got exactly 6 movement to get in there. And this guy is 7 movement. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's surrounded. So that's not going to happen then. And it would have done it if it was a German city, if it was in a German map edge hex, if the placement removes dangerous round from another German unit. That's not the case, and the other one's 5 from turn 5 onwards, so that's not going to be an option after all. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, here's me hoping to get this done quick. Well, I can't leave it like this. Well, you know what? I could just pause the camera, I suppose. I think I should. It's quite late at night, to be honest. I've got the exciting bit out of the way anyway. The bit I was itching to do. There might be a bit more thought in this, but I won't. You'll just see a pause in the camera, and I'll be fresher the next time I speak. I'll not be sounding all slurry and you know, yeah, full of the whiskey. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably better doing that. I think there's a bit more to do, and then the end of turn stuff as well. But we're only 41 minutes in, so I'll be back in the morning to finish this off. But like I say, you'll just see a pause and hear me less slurry. Okay, cheers, guys. Hi all. Right, back to finish the last part. Last impulse of Action Kharkov's Soviet Soul. This will be the last impulse of the turn. We did kind of start it last night, but yeah, I kind of had to get off. So where were we? So I'm not sure where we're. Yeah, we're trying to deploy these guys. That was the downside to starting it and not finishing it. I'm not sure where I was at. Damn it. Okay, so yeah, they've got to go in their area. Yeah, what was the suggestion that it should have went here, wasn't it? Why did I decide that wasn't happening then? A hex is empty or garrisoned, or a city hex occupied by only 1 German step, and Soviet unit proximate to the hex. And again, like we said, Soviet unit proximate to a German garrison hex means moving adjacent to it. We do have that. Was it because it could be surrounded that we weren't going there? 1 and then 1 on top of the 3 moving across, 4, 5, yeah, so this guy could move into there, and then the other guy who's mechanised is the other guy? There's only one guy there, Grant. Okay. Right, I assume it was using one of these then. He'd be breaking a zone of control, so it'd be 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and then this guy could come round. Yeah, so it is a surroundable hex, so it wouldn't want to do that, would it? Unit would not be in danger sound if placed in hex, unless German city, German map edge hex placement removes danger sound from another German unit. Yeah, okay, that wasn't the case then. So I think we can count that hex out. Okay, so if we can count that hex out, I'll see if I can mark a few hexes that are possible then. Right, just looking there, and I got a bit of a fright thinking they could be placed here, because I didn't think he was in dangerous round. I thought these infantry units haven't got the movement to get up. These guys can't get around. However, this third tank army unit, although it's adjacent to the garrison, remember it is adjacent, so we don't need to look at that. So it can actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and surround that. So Fortunately, that's not going to be a placement. Okay, I think they're all possibles. They're all certainly proximate for this Russian unit to reach. I wasn't sure about this one, but 1, 2, 3, 2 to cross there, and 1 to go in there is 6, and then his last point 7 into there. So all of them are proximate. So, and they're all empty. They're all in the army area, not in the barrage zone. In German reserve supply, yes. In German reserve supply, right? Oh no, it's just the Dnieper River, isn't it? It's not the Donets River. That reduces it to 2 hexes. Where are we? Where's supply part? Well, I've lost it. Here, supply. Yeah, if path crosses unbridged Dnieper River hexide, allowed length is reduced to 2. Well, it doesn't say reduced, but it's 2 rather than the 7. However, I mean, this is the Donets River, so there doesn't seem to be that restriction. So we can trace 7 hexes. You know, I was just wondering about this guy if you had to trace across, but so they're all good. Soviet unit proximate. Well, I've already judged that. Right. Would the unit be in danger of surround if placed there? I don't think. Yeah, I was just looking at this one initially. This guy could go 1, 2, 3, 4, so we could get a unit in there, but this guy could get across to there. He's still got an out there though. I can't see anything else that can come up, and there's not. This is the nearest infantry unit that way. So no, I don't think he's in danger. 1, 2, 3. This guy can only get up to here to threaten this one. So no, I don't think any of the 4 are in danger of surround. Hex is not a Soviet town or city. Right, and then not adjacent to a German unit. Well, there's none of them. This one's adjacent to garrison, but I don't see a restriction there. So amongst qualifying positions, prefer a VP hex with the lowest position number. None of them are VP hexes. B, within 3 hexes of a unit in the same corps. 1, 2, 3. He's just outside, so that's not coming into it either. C, hex that removes dangerous surround from our German unit, or enables an our German unit to trace supply. No, there's not any issues there. And obviously not in dangerous surround. Well, we've already checked that. Not quite sure where that one's there. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be. Well, actually, yeah, because when it says unit would not be in dangerous surround, there is an unless to that, so it could be that. So not in dangerous surround, fair enough. Non-map hex, no. So lowest position number. So we've got 64, 52, 56, and 60. So 52, I think, is going to be our target. And like we've decided, I think we decided before, there's no restriction on how many we can deploy. So as long as we deploy one of these, the other 2 will just go back into the reserve units box if we can't deploy them for some reason. So selector number 4 is the lowest one. So he's going to be placed there. Okay, so I think that's the first guy who's going there. You never feel terribly, you never feel 100% with these, do you? So what that then means is none of these are Soviet proximate now, because there's no way of me getting through that. There was no way of me getting to that hex as well. 1, 2, you know, I can't go that way because the garrison's there. Pretty sure that one's not reachable either. Yeah, I can't get up round the back, so that one's not. So that removes all these. However, I'm just wondering now if this is a candidate because we're putting that guy there. Because the reason we couldn't deploy here in the first place was that it was in dangerous surround, wasn't it? So is it now? And it was in dangerous surround because we were moving one of these units, right, so we can still get a unit into here, but we can't get in and into here. So I don't think that hex is in dangerous surround now. And this is where it comes to, and okay, I might as well bring this up now. I did post, maybe it was a rather daft question, because I got caught out with that strategic relocation bit, which, let me make clear, strategic relocation is an event, and it clearly states at the end of the event, you complete the selection and relocation of one unit, then you select the next unit based on the revised map situation. It tells you right there. But it really started throwing doubts into my head about, and it's just because I got caught by it, I think, and I should have been I should have looked past that and realised. So my issue was, well, when you're doing any kind of German action, shouldn't you, when you've looked at them in ascending order, if I check unit 1, then I check unit 2, and it then makes unit 1 able to do what it would have done, you don't go back and check that. Once you've checked unit 1, unless it specifically states that you then review the map situation and then check again. So, and it clearly says, it does say that. It says conduct 10.1, and I posted the question, Martin answered that quite clearly states in 10.1 that you would then move on to the next command. You don't go back and look at it. John Butterfield also confirmed that, also adding the fact that, remember, strategic relocation is an event, and it's got its own kind of rules, its own kind of ways to deal with it. Whereas the German action steps, it does clearly state that conduct an activation by checking the sequence of action steps in effect for the current game turn. Each step describes a possible action involving a unit, a garrison, or a German action card draw. So, and then the first part, this is the relevant bit. In a step involving units, check active units that have not yet performed an action in ascending or descending unit selector order as noted in the steps action description. If the action can be conducted by a unit, conduct the action. Then check the next unit in order for the same action step until all units have been checked for that step. So I guess I did read that again, and like I say, I think I was clouded by the event that then says you go back and check again. So I think that's what threw me, but I don't know. Maybe if there was a wee bit more worded in there that says, I don't think it needs to be there. I think it's just because I've been caught with this event. That's all. It is clear there that you would check unit 1. If unit 1 couldn't do its thing, you would check unit 2. You wouldn't then go back to check unit 1 within that action. You would then move on to the next command. Next action step. So fair enough with that one. However, now the reason I'm just mentioning this just now is because we are actually deploying reserves, and we checked this first, right? So we've checked this first, and it was in dangerous round, so we couldn't deploy a reserve there. Now, we've rechecked everything else, we've found out that this is our first deployment, but when you're deploying reserves, it does say that at the very bottom on the player aid here, instantly in play, deployed reserve units become subsequent deployments, deployed reserve units affect subsequent deployments in the same impulse or deployment phase. So as soon as that guy goes there, we can then re-look at this. We do look at the map again. It's not like the action steps where you're going through it. So once he's placed, we then got to refresh everything and start again, So, and it's the same with that strategic relocation event. You check a unit for dangerous round, you maybe move a unit, and then you go back and then check again, and you might have to go back to lower selector numbers to do that. Okay, so yeah, yeah, that's my understanding of everything. So this hex now becomes into play, and it's possibly, well, if it's not the only one, I'll tell you what it is. It's a VP hex, so that is the priority when it comes down to it. Prefer a VP hex with the lowest position number. So let me just take a wee chance here and knock that garrison out of the way and put this unit in here, and we'll just have a little glance so just to make sure. Oh, hang on a sec. I'm just looking at Soviet unit proximate to the hex, and then it's got or turns 3 and 4 hex is in a German city, and then after that, which I'm not sure I've read, it says disregard garrisons when determining Soviet proximity. Oh dear. I don't think I've been looking at that. Nobody's said anything. Oh dear, dear, dear Grant, don't tell me. I disregard them completely. Something feels a bit wrong about that. But it's maybe part of the reserve deployment. Yeah, I thought I was struggling to find it. They are in the rule book because it's on that. I was just that bit on the player aid. But yeah, right enough. And this is a flashback. I remember looking at this when I was reading through the rules before I had the game. 9.22 on page 15, garrisons and reserve placement. When the first part says a position hex containing a garrison is eligible for German reserve unit placement. Upon placing a German reserve unit in a garrison hex, remove the garrison. Okay, I understand all that. And then, however, the last sentence says, during German reserve placement, Soviet proximity may be traced into and through a garrison hex, as if the garrison weren't there. Oh dear, I missed that. I have missed that. So I don't know if I blundered with this already. So, well, I might as well not blunder through this reserve deployment. Give me a second. Okay, so just put things back there. I don't know. I'm not going to know if it's. Hopefully, I've got away with that one and just caught it in time. Nobody's made any comment yet regarding that one, but I do have 2 or 3 videos that haven't been put out there yet as well. So yeah, I didn't see that one at all. So when we're checking for proximity, we can ignore this. We can check movement right through this. Now, has it changed anything here? Maybe not, but I seem to remember saying, right, I can't move by that garrison when I was checking for proximate somewhere else. So, right, let me put some blue cubes out again. Yeah, so I think that's the 4 choices I had at the beginning, and I think I have spotted the one. I looked at this and said, oh, I thought this was maybe going to be in dangerous zone because this unit could go 1, 2, 3, 4. But this unit can't get through behind us because of this garrison. Well, we're not looking at that garrison anymore, so this might have been the one. Can I get around the back though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's 2. It'd be another 3 to get in there, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be 8 to get into that hex. So, still don't think it is surroundable then. Unless we can get into there, but I would, nah. Maybe 1 for crossing this road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I don't think that is surroundable still. No, I'm going to go with that. Okay, so that was the choices we had. We decided the garrison wasn't a choice because it was surroundable. Right, hold on then. If that one's surroundable, wouldn't this possibly be surroundable? Bear in mind that we're ignoring the garrison. This is 4 for him to move into there. And then 5 into there. No, we can't get him round the back there as well. I don't think he can get to there. Yeah, no, I don't think any of them are surroundable, so I think we're okay with what our choice was at first. But yeah, still the garrison wouldn't be considered because it is surroundable by one of these units going in here and then this guy going around. So we were to pick the lowest hex and it was 52. So I think that's still right. 52 was the lowest, wasn't it? Yeah, let me just have a wee look there. Yeah, I think that's okay. And so I think we can carry on. I think we were alright, but obviously that one should stay in my head now. I just hope that I've not blundered with it already, but well, probably nothing we can do about it now. So is this surroundable anymore? Well, I think we decided it wasn't because we can't get. Now, hang on. No. Right, hang on though, but this is a different check, isn't it? Although I ignore garrisons, we're talking about if a German unit was put there, would we be able to surround that? Because I started thinking there, well wait now, we ignore the garrison, we can just move into here. But that's not, although we're checking proximity to if the unit was in there, would it be surroundable? And that's a no, because we can't get around the back here. So yeah, I'm going to just push on and hopefully that's correct. Now, it's quite possible the other one's not going to be able to be deployed. I don't think. I'll just have another look. Yeah, I don't think I can see another. Started thinking I was forgetting. I think I was maybe looking at this orange line, but it is between here and here. But this is adjacent to German unit as well, but we're not even proximate to that as well. Not proximate to this. What about this now? We looked at this initially, but I think something can get in there, can't it? Yeah, it was one of these guys, wasn't it? Yeah, because I even talked to it, right, we don't consider this garrison because we're adjacent to it. Well, that's actually not true. We ignore the garrison while we're checking for this just now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can still get that hex surrounded. And these hexes are all surroundable. This one, 2. And the other ones that we had marked are now not proximate to us. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to call it at that, I think. It's probably more than enough time to have looked at that. Yeah. So that's a couple of the second SS units anyway. So I think that the other one's not going to be deployable just yet, so he's going to go back in the reserve units box. But there was no restriction on how many we needed to deploy there. If it had been turn 2, we would have had to have at least 2 eligible, which we did have there, so that would have worked as well. But it's not turn 2. So yeah. So that is the end of the last German impulse and the end of the turn. Okay, hopefully that's right. Okay, so end of turn sequence. It's reasonably straightforward. or maybe I should look at the back page of the rule book, but maybe I should look in the rules just for the first time. Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same as it is in the player aid. Page 10, end of turn phase. I don't think it gets any more detailed than that. So if the space for the current game turn on the calendar includes victory levels, check to see if you've won or lost the game, 17.2. It's not, like I say, I think it's end of turn 4 it kicks in. So return all combat chits to the cup. We didn't have any because we just drew a refreshment, whatever it is. We just drew one of the chits in the last combat. So they're all in the cup. Remove all disperse and forward support markers from the map. Well, we've no forward support, but there is some dispersed. So that worked out right. We saved ourselves a step loss on these guys. And to be honest, I don't think we would have done anything more with these guys as well. So, and that saved us 2 step losses, didn't it? So I think that was right call. Felt like it's worked right. Remove German garrison markers in hexes to which German reserve supply can't be traced. I'll tell you what, there's 2 of them in there that, yeah, I never thought about that. I kept these guys adjacent to them so that they would drop off when we activated them again. But reserve supply, right, like I say, well, there's no friendly units anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he's on a supply road. So he's in reserve supply, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across to that road, and he's fine as well. There's one other one on the map down there, and that's clearly in reserve supply. So they're all good. Advance the game turn marker to the next space in the calendar and start a new game turn. Right, we did not activate our any one unit, so I'll move that along into game turn 2 as well. Yeah, we'd have liked to have done that. We had a chance at one point to take this, didn't we? We always knew that if the second SS did come out, it was more than likely they were going to end up in that hex. So the warning signs were there, but you can't do everything, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to join this on in the last part from last night. Hopefully that all went right. I remember the combat, it was good. We were quite lucky again. Martin was no doubt shaking his head at all the duff combat tactics I've been drawing for the Germans in this last few combats. Okay, right, I'll get this uploaded as well. Like I said, I'm a few behind. I'm trying to watch them just to see, trying to catch anything that I'll now be looking out for that when I'm checking for reserve deployment. Just ignore garrisons. I didn't catch that one, so hopefully it's not caused major blunders. We shall see. Okay, I'll be back short. Yeah, I should get a bit more done today. Still off today, so fingers crossed I'll get back to the table in a bit. Need to go out with the dogs just now. Okay, cheers guys. Hi all. Right, I'm just going to add this on to the end. This enemy Action Kharkov, Soviet solo. Thought I was done with turn 1. Well, I'm done with turn 1. However, I thought I'll re-upload the video. I've not uploaded it yet. It was all set to go. I just wanted to view it back, part 9. But I think I'll add this on to the end because unfortunately I think I'm going to scrap it. I'm going to put this down to a sort of learning experience, practice turn, whatever, because there's another couple of mistakes come to light that are I can't really fix, and I think maybe one of the biggest problems is I'm pushing ahead quite far because I'm enjoying playing it, and maybe that's why I shouldn't be recording it just now. I probably should just be playing it myself. I kind of enjoy doing it that way though, because it makes me think more about it and talk through it and that. But dangerous rounds really catching me out. It's really messing things up for me. And I don't think it's going to be repairable. Things have moved on too far. I don't think these units shouldn't be up here. I think the Germans should have. Things are definitely should be different in this area, and Martin picked up on a couple of mistakes. One of them, another big dangerous surround mistake. I suppose oddly enough, it was moving this unit into this town, and this town was actually in dangerous surround. Although when he said it again, I had to look, and he explains how to surround it, but I didn't look at that first. I thought, I'm going to see, and I thought, you've got this wrong, Martin. This can't be surrounded, and he's right enough. There was one unit could come down and over the bridge here into here somewhere. The other unit goes around. None of these units were here. The other unit goes around and one ends up down here. And it's not easy to see it, but, but these are obviously dangerous sounds far more involved in this game. You're seeing it all the time. I don't know, maybe that's wrong, maybe it was just as involved in Enemy Action Ardennes, but it feels like it's far more. And the comment from Stefan, who's been playing the game, and a wee tip, he said that he's been placing some kind of markers on units when they're in dangerous round, and he's updating that. I thought it might be a bit messy, that, because it's updating all the time. As soon as you move a unit's moving in and out of dangerous round. But I'll tell you what, he might have something there, because it's really catching me out. And that's the second big one that's caught me out. There's another error as well, which is just clumsy on my behalf. But Martin's comments start off nice and gentle. No, I'm not meaning that, Martin. I totally appreciate you. These things need to be brought up. You know fine well that I don't want to be doing some dodgy video that's like not playing by the rules. The rules are there. They're brilliant rules. They are. It's the most complex AI system I've tried to operate. And by the way, I played that Empire of the Sun, trying to use the bot on that, and it's nowhere near this. This is far more involved. The Empire of the Sun one, I'm not going to say it's bad or anything like that, but it doesn't do everything. This does everything. This really covers everything. The Germans, doesn't matter where we're at, they'll make a move, and you'll look at it and you'll say, wow, that's maybe what I would have done if I'd been sitting on that side of the table. His first comment was about the core ROW unit that we moved, that we retreated, and I felt like it was I was unsure about it. He said no, that was correct, it was into a lower number text, so it's good to get these confirmations too, that so you feel more comfortable with it in the future. The other one was dispersed. Remember, we had these units were all dispersed, and I was a bit worried about this guy, because in Enemy Action Ardennes I went back and actually checked the rulebook for Enemy Action Ardennes just to confirm that I wasn't imagining something, but indeed, dispersed units in Enemy Action Ardennes did not exert zone of control. However, they do in this game. It says that they don't. I was a bit concerned that maybe there'd been some error, but obviously they've changed that up within the rules, and that was correct. So he confirmed that was right as well. And the other one, and hang on, this was from, this is what worries me more. This was only from part 3. But these two comments are things that he's just confirming. It's not mistakes that I made, it's just doubts that I've had. And the third, before we get to the mistake, the third one, which was just confirmation again, was that another change from Enemy Action Ardennes was, and that's why I was a bit scratching my head about active units. Apparently in Enemy Action Ardennes, an active unit could still be a unit that had, let's just say that's had an activation, and I'm still looking at this unit, then this is still this in any action or then this would still be classed as an active unit. And I remember, I can't remember what it was. It was what I wanted to do was regarding an active unit, and I was doubting if this was active still. And it does say in the rules in this game that if it's had an action, it's not active anymore. However, that's a change from Ardennes. That would still be classed as an active unit. So it was just clarifying that as well. Okay, so now to the bad bits. There is only two, but it's just they're big enough. Well, I've already mentioned about the dangerous out. Well, let's look at the first bit first, which is, and this is part of part 3 as well. And it's it's when I was trying to move. What unit was it? Was it one of the third corps units? I think it was one of the third corps units. He was in this town here, and yeah, he was in the town, and I'm trying to move him, and yes, step 4, yeah, because he does tell me it's step 4, and he says I'm temporarily forgetting that step 4 in the action step says if in dangerous surround, move to a position hex, not in dangerous surround. And you know, when I first read it, I thought, yeah, surely I'm not doing that. That sounds daft. And I just watched myself doing it. I just switch off completely. So the unit, let's just pretend this is a unit, and it's in there. And I think maybe what throws me a little bit is I want it to be over in this unit's army area, and that's across this line here, and I'm trying to work out ways of getting it across. And you know what? I'm just totally oblivious to the position hex, because if you look, there's no position hexes there. So it wouldn't, I mean, I'm struggling to find movement points just to get it across the river here. You know, I think we've got some units in here, so I can't just go straight across there. But this is not a position hex either. None of them are. Now, there's one up here, but he's got, I think he's breaking zone of control, so I think it's in his, is he infantry? I don't know. I mean, he's 3 movement or 4 movement to get in there. He's not getting in there. But anyway, in the end, what I do is decide, and I'm a bit unsure about the fact that, because it talks about him being, what is it? If outside unit's army area, closer to the area. So it's as if I want to move closer, and that throws me a little bit. Not sure about that one as well. He didn't make any comment on that. Of course, I'm doing all this wrong, so does it really matter? So I think I'm worried about, well, that's moving here is not getting any closer to my army area. It's just the same, you know, because there's my army area over there. But anyway, I decide to move it from here into here, and he's now not in dangerous surround. However, he's not in a position hex. He's not in a position hex, and it clearly says, if in dangerous surround, move to a position hex. That was just totally going over the top of my head. I was just not seeing that at all. And there you go. So so that certainly would have caused trouble. And but the other one's the bigger one. I'm not sure what would happen. He actually comes up. Sorry, Martin, I didn't look at the rest of it. I thought I was just that disappointed in myself that he tells me where these units should have moved to, and but then in the next comment in the next part, in part 4, he says that these units wouldn't have got up over the river because these units would have been somewhere different. They would have stopped them from getting over the river. And I thought, right, I think it's time to show the towel. And I mean, you know, I could play it on as and see how we go and whatever, but I just feel like there's too many errors to. I know I'm not going to get it completely error free. I know that's probably let's just say it is impossible, right? But if I was taking it slower, I don't know if I'd done that when I first started doing Action or then taking it a bit slower, letting people like Martin and the rest of you, you're more than welcome to comment if you see something that's wrong and whatever. To get time to get back to me and then sort of say, okay, I can rewind that. The problem is I'm really enjoying playing it. So, and I've been off over the weekend here, so I have sneaked in some time to be able to do it. So yeah, I thought about, well, should I carry on or whatever. And he does say, he says he thinks it was the right thing. I think this is comment on part. Hang on. Yeah, he felt his comment on part 5 was he does feel that it was the right thing to do, not to try and fix things and just play it, and then obviously get the feedback, and then realise when you're going wrong, and then hopefully your next playthrough can be something that's I think it was a nice comment, and the fact that almost error free as what I did in Any Match in Ardennes, which, you know, yeah, with your guys' help, really, to be honest. There was a few that I had to, like, well, okay, I can rewind that a little bit, but I think I'll stop here. I think I'll restart it. I know that's like a lot of time went by, but I think I'm better stopping it now because we've just finished turn 1. It's going to be quite easy to reset it again. I've not used any reinforcements from the calendar or anything like that. I can probably quite easily set it up again. And I know in my head now that danger off surround, it's huge, but it's not as easy to look at sometimes as you think. Like I say, it's not always a simple case of, you know, let's just look down here. You know, this unit here is in danger, is surrounded, or, you know, if I was here, you know, a simple case of, oh well, if I move that unit there, so he's in danger of surround. It's not as always clear cut as that. And the one that he pointed out here, when he initially said it, I thought, no, surely not. And it's right enough. I mean, I think, like I say, one of the units come from here around into here, one comes from here into here, and one of these infantry units comes up to something like there. It comes to, you know, it's 2 hexes away from there, but it puts the zone of control into here, and the unit here is zone of control into here, and the unit over here traps a guy, and he's surrounded. But you look at it initially and you think, well, no, he's okay. That's fine putting him there, but it wasn't. So I have to pay far more attention to that, you know. Just spend a bit more time on it and not just sort of say, right, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, a bit of a bummer, but you know, did I expect this? I suppose I was worried that this was going to happen, and especially when I missed that, what was it? Strategic relocation, and then it threw some funny doubts into my head about the action steps, which was a bit stupid really, because I played Any Match in Ardennes for a while and it follows the exact same system. You check the units in ascending or descending order. You don't then go back and check them unless the action or whatever tells you to do that. But that's a special event. It's an event that, you know, tells you once you've done one, you then go back and review the whole map and, you know, then start again. But anyway, okay. Right, I think I'll add this on to the end and we're going to call this a wrap. I wanted to play a bit more this evening, so now I'm a bit wary to start moving things about. I'm going to be doing it even slower, you'll be glad to hear. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Well, I might adjust the names of the video, the parts of the videos, maybe just to put practice in somewhere, or failed part 1 failed, or something. Just so, and it looks like there's quite a lot of people who watched the video as well, which is a bit of a shame. You can see I'm trying to do things right though. I think. I mean, I'm watching back on my video too, thinking, and you see some moves that end up being quite clever that you didn't see it. You don't see it first, and you think, yeah, that's good, that's right, that's. But then there's certain ones I'm missing. I'm missing them. So just need to be a bit more careful, and so hopefully I'll be back with a better version of it sometime soon. Okay, guys, cheers.